Arctic, it's possible to explore an ice cave with thousands of tons of its frozen glass melting above one's head. It's as breathtakingly beautiful as it is hauntingly terrifying. At UMBC's Imaging Research Center, along with the NSF Institute for Harnessing Data and Model Revolution in the Polar Regions, or IHARP, artists and scientists have created an immersive ice cave in a 3D installation. An arc of monitors displays the cave filled with particle data, including carbon, dust, melting ice, and rising waters. NASA's satellite data are driving some of the animations in the cave, while users' own breath activate others. We know that much of Greenland's coast is made of ice, and therefore when it melts, the island shrinks. However, researchers at IHARP are studying inland regions that are newly absorbing rising sea levels beneath the Earth. Hundreds of these lakes are forming and expanding within the inner island region, shrinking the landmass. From a human perspective, Greenland is sinking. The data also drives the voice of artist and poet Jessica Kleeman, whose poetry is channeled by the ancient god of the northern wind, Boreas. Jessica herself was born in northwest Greenland, and although the animated letters of her poem glow wildly, we hear her reciting her poem in her indigenous tongue, Kalaallisut. The data affecting these animations use differentiation patterns so that the chaotic behavior of the data never interacts in a predictable pattern. For instance, some data reads global temperature from 1880 to the present, while CO2 is read from 1958. So the patterns interact a bit like the unpredictability of the weather itself. And the cave is more like the nature of data space. When the data points reach an apex, when the various particles are at their most dense, and Greenland lakes become deep and wide, at that random moment, the data space will trigger a more dramatic event, where an ice sheet falls from the cave, and the sublime cave shatters into a cryosphere. In front of the wall of monitors is a round white table with a relief on the surface. The image is at first unclear, but as increments of colored water flow into the relief, and as the water rises, an image slowly emerges that appears to be made out of the fluid. We learn the image is Speed's Beauty Salon, a South Baltimore shop in Turner's Point. The salon was built by servant Courtney Speed and her husband during one of the many revitalization efforts this once middle-class African-American neighborhood experienced since the mid-20th century. But today, servant wears knee-high rubber boots to mitigate the flooding in her shop. This accelerating water flow is the result of landfills, political neglect, and now compounded by global sea level rise events that are causing seawater to surge in this Chesapeake Bay community.
And the water being a problem here in Turner Station. The whole community has been trying to get a resolution for the flooding, but it has not happened. And to the point that there was a lady who had stepped in her kitchen and the refrigerator fell because of the floor being decayed from the moisture. Our business has been tremendously affected.
If you touch or blow on the water, the image of the salon ripples. Because without intervention efforts in the polar regions, by 2050, this Baltimore business is predicted to be 3 feet underwater. The cave has nooks and crannies and includes another room where the audience is invited to experience the ice cave in a VR headset, with a game where they can choose to take action on sea levels rising. They may choose a series of options to control a future with intensive fossil fuel use, or a future based on sustainability. Every choice they make determines how high the water climbs. The water may rise at their feet, knees, waist, or chest. But if they choose nothing, they will submerge fully in the water.